Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at Bitcoin on both the Coinbase and Bitstamp charts. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin Cash and then several of the altcoins. So first up, let's take a look at the Bitcoin Coinbase chart. As you can see here, there's 6 red candles in a row. So this is the one where we pointed out the climax spike, you know, the long upper wick and pullback, and as it turned out, that was the high. You know, it retraced back up to that level, but as you can see, it failed to break above. So this was the climax. You know, notice the big volume spike. There was the huge volume spike on the 7th of December, and that was the biggest volume day for Bitcoin during this entire during this. You know, it looks like maybe historically, and so yeah, people were locked in gains at that level. When it retraced back to the level here on the 7th, but when it retraced back to that level on the 16th, it failed to break above and topped out. So when the red candle formed on the 17th, a bearish Harami reversal pattern formed. That pattern was confirmed on the 18th with the red candle, and then on the 19th, EMA's 4 and 8 support broke. That the pink line is EMA 4, EMA 8 is the lime line. So the drop below both levels, that signaled downside risk. Okay, so that was the signal to go to the sidelines, look for potential reload off the middle Bollinger Band if support held. Support broke intraday on the 20th, but it got back above and held middle Bollinger Band support. But then yesterday on the 21st, the middle Bollinger Band support level broke. There was a close below, and then now you have a big drop. The candles are breaking below the big support level that was the big resistance level in the past. These annotations were from when the share price was running higher. I just kept them going, and so as you can see here, that it needed to break above 17.4. That was this level right here, the red line, and so the drop below on the 20th, that signaled downside risk. And then you had another big break, you know, the 15,300, and so and then if you come down here, we've got the 14,400 level, and so the drop below, you know, so basically it keeps breaking below all the levels. Now it's below the middle Bollinger Band. You know, it's dropping below the closing price on the 6th. Okay, so this 14,100 level, this is a big level right here. You know, if it breaks below that, you could see a drop down here to 13.5, or yeah, down here to 13.5, which is the down here where it was prior resistance before it broke out higher. So yeah, so this is looking, and if you notice, it's lined up with the lower Bollinger Band down here. So so the lower Bollinger Band would be the next support level, Bollinger Band support level. So right now it's retracing. Now it's in a downtrend on the daily chart. If this middle Bollinger Band up here at 16,000 turns into resistance, you know, that's going to signal you know, the downtrend has begun, and so it's already, you know, in a corrective mode. If it gets back above the middle Bollinger Band here at 16,000, that's this purple line in the middle, then it could get the uptrend going again. If it turns into resistance, then that's going to signal more downside risk. And so keep an eye on it now. You really want to see it get back above 14,400, and then if it drops down below, you want to see that 13,500 level hold. So yeah, so big time pullback for Bitcoin. If you look at the Bitcoin Bitstamp chart, you can see here, you know, it broke out and it peaked here once again on the 17th, and then it formed, you know, bearish Harami reversal pattern, and then it formed a doji the next day, and then finally the pattern was confirmed on the 19th. And so notice on the 19th, EMA 4 support broke, the pink line, you know, that had been holding. And so besides the close below right here, it had been holding the entire time. So that was your red flag. That was the signal, okay, I better go to the sidelines. And then finally EMA 8 broke. And then yesterday it closed right on the middle Bollinger Band, right on the level that it needs to hold. It needed to bounce off that level and head higher to keep the uptrend going. That would have been the bullish move. That was the move everybody was looking for. That was at basically 15,590, and that level failed to hold, and then so it's dropped lower. Now it's breaking below the key level, that 13,600 level right here. this key zone, which there's not a ton of support on the way. It was such a parabolic move on the way up, and that's the problem when stocks retrace after a big move higher. They can drop quickly. Look how this is dropping basically twice as fast as the amount of days that it took to head to this level, between this level and this level. It's dropping twice as fast on the way down, and so that's what happens. And so now we're in that Fibonacci retrace mode. Where's it going to find support? Well, you want to see now down here. It's got to be the it's just that there's not a whole lot of support on the chart. That's the problem. So it's got to get back above the middle Bollinger Band, and then you're looking at it down here at the lower Bollinger Band at 10.9 as the next key support level down below, and then notice how that's lining up with this 11,600 level, which was a little bit of resistance in that zone, and so you should see a little bit of support there. When it was channeling out down here sideways, when it had the sideways channel a little bit on these two sideways channels down here at the 10,000 mark and the 11,000 mark, you will find more support as well. It's busted through some really big levels that it should have held support, so it needs to get back above. Up on this chart, this 14,580 level, it was a big support level to hold. It could still bounce today and get back above that level, so you want to see it get back above 14,580 and then get back above 16,000, and then the Bitstamp chart would be better, would be healthier. Right now, it's signaling the possible start of a new downtrend. Okay, and so it has to get back above EMA's 4 and 8 to get that chart healthy again. Okay, so let's look at Bitcoin Cash. So it's breaking down as well. If you look here, this Bitstamp TradingView chart, it's only been around since the start of the month, back here on the 5th, and so we've just got EMA's 4 and 8 here to work with, and so now it's dropped below EMA 8. It has a bearish pattern. The big support level to hold right now is right here at 2,150. And so that's going to be the top of this candle right here, 2,154. That's going to be a big level to hold. If it drops below that, then you're looking at down here at 1,934 as the next two big support levels. So so this is pulling back as well. It's once the downward momentum gets going, it can be hard to stop. So they're going to need to get a bounce going very soon, because what's the problem is that possible new downtrends could begin, and then it could signal a bigger correction. So so let's look at Ethereum. Okay, so now this is pulling back. These are the annotations from before. You could see it had this really nice run up, and then it has a multi-day pullback. For the last 2 days, it was holding up pretty good above EMA's 4 and 8, and then finally today it broke below. I mean, this is a nasty candle. Look how big that candle is. It's a very sharp drop on light volume to drive it down that low. So people really are really pushing this lower. This is probably the effects of futures trading. And so now you've got it driving it down. The middle Bollinger Band all the way down here at 600 is the big support level to hold. It needs to hold the middle Bollinger Band. It's currently we'll call it 600. It's this purple line. It needs to bounce off that level to keep the uptrend going. If it fails to hold the middle Bollinger Band and gets below, that could signal a possible downtrend, start of a downtrend. And then you're looking at this 474 level. That was that level that it broke out above before. When it broke above that 460 and 474 level, that's when we put out alerts that it was heading higher. And as you can see, they're just driving it down as we speak. So look for a bounce off of 600. If it breaks below 600, you could see a drop down to the 470s. Okay, let's look at Litecoin here. So Litecoin, I got to get subscriptions. So Litecoin Bitstamp chart here. Look at it. They're driving them all down at the same time. This is the power that wasn't there before of bigger players being able to move it. Look, Litecoin's down 26% on not big volume. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's turned very bearish. All these plays have, and look how they're giving back the gains so quickly. And think about how hard it is to sell. So the thing to do is to bulls and bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So on the way up, it's much easier to sell than on the way down. And when EMA 4 and 8 support broke here on the 20th, that was your signal to get out. That was your signal. Okay, and you have to keep in mind, think about Bitcoin. I mean, you got to use some game theory here. If Bitcoin has this nasty 6-day drop, and look, it's dropping harder, and other altcoins are under pressure, then you might want to think about locking in gains if yours is up and it's starting to cool down, because many times they're gonna follow suit. These all went up together, they're gonna pull back together. That's how it works. And so they have the programs. Most of the trading is done through algorithmic program trading, and so right now the program is set to freaking sell. Look at it. They've got it on sell. So right now, Litecoin has to bounce. Look, it's hitting the level as we speak, as we're making this video in live real time. It has to bounce off of 222. If it fails to bounce off of 222, that's going to signal downside risk. Then you're looking at a drop down here to 206. 207, that's going to be, or 208 right here, the closing price right here in the open, 208. And then if it breaks below 208, then you're looking at a potential drop all the way down to 148. So that could get nasty. It has to bounce off of 222 here, a huge level. Okay, let's look at Ripple. Okay, Ripple is once again, yeah, these are the annotations from before, had this really nice uptrend going. We put out alerts it was breaking above the 40s, and then it ended up running up to 120, and now today it's pulling back. So what did I just say before about stocks pulling back, and then they could follow suit? So that could happen with Ripple here. Ripple, with everything, since Ripple's holding up, there's a good chance they're going to try to drive this thing down. So keep an eye on EMA 4 currently at 86. If it breaks below 86, that's going to be a major red flag. That's going to signal downside risk, and then that's going to put 80 on deck. And if 80 breaks, watch out. Here goes 86 right now. We're watching it right now. So like I said, once they get that below 80, it could be too late for you, and they could drive this thing all the way down to 50 cents. So that's the big thing. Take profits on the way up. Don't get greedy. These are trading vehicles. Okay, now they are long-term investments for people. I know, but a lot of people are in this just to trade, right? I mean, these are trading vehicles for most people. A lot of people have them, they're riding them long term, and that's super cool. And these are, these, look at this drop here for Monero. Monero is getting freaking crushed right now. Oh my God, it's falling off of a cliff. Look at this. You know why? Because it's a parabolic move. I mean, this is what everybody was warning everybody about. Like people that haven't been around the stock market and haven't seen penny stocks that are pump and dumps that create these Eiffel Tower, these very steep parabolic patterns. These trajectories are unsustainable. Nothing can go straight up like this. Everything pulls back, and cryptocurrencies are no different. People were drinking the Kool-Aid thinking they could just keep going up forever. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so everybody that got sucked in at the top, now they're bumming. And it's going to be, and this is all happening while people are sleeping in America, so, they're going to wake up and go, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do now? Look how far I'm down. And then it could really snowball. Who knows? Or people could buy and it could bounce. But right now we've got a bearish pattern happening. EMA's 4 and 8 support broke, and it did break below the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 297. That is a major red flag. If that turns into resistance, you're talking about notice how it's bouncing off of 260 here? That's because this was the high close here. It needs to hold this 260. If it drops below that, you're looking at 240, break 240, you're talking about a potential drop down to 210. You've got the problem is you got the lower Bollinger Band way down here at 164. So yeah, these parabolic moves, the Fibonacci retraces can be sharp. Just like I said, look how this is more than twice as fast. How many days this has wiped out all those gains in such a short amount of time, and look how small that volume bar is. Yeah, so this is getting crushed. We've got EOS here. Oh my goodness, what the heck just happened to EOS? I mean, when I started making this chart, it was up here, and then oh my gosh, it just fell like crazy. Look at that drop, everybody. Oh my goodness, it went from up here to start up here near $10. Now it's all the way down to 3. It wiped out all of the gains on very low volume. That is an intense drop, 70% down. Holy cow! I mean, that is just amazing that it could drop that fast. This is the risk that regulatory people are talking about. The regulators. I mean, look at this over here. I mean, look at the volume. That is not that big of a volume spike to have it drop that dramatically. We're talking about a drop from 9 to this is a 15-minute chart, from $9 all the way down to $3 in a 30-minute period. I mean, that's the thing. There's no regulation here, so that there's no you know, they're not going to halt this. There's no halting. This is 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? 7 days a week. This is just keeps going. Yeah, and so now you got it. Now you look over here. You've got the support from down here on the previous days, on the 8th and the 9th. Yeah, this is getting just totally destroyed right now. Yeah. So it's hitting the key support levels, and from back here on the 8th and 9th, you know, it needs to bounce very soon. EOS is getting totally pummeled. So yeah, it bounced off of 3, and yeah, you could see the wild moves that these make. Yeah. So it has to get back above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 635. If that turns into resistance, that's going to signal the start of a new downtrend. Okay, now let's look at, oh man, see, this was when I started making this video, when I was trying to get all these charts set up, the candle was way up here. You know, we could check this out again. I mean, it just literally fell off a cliff. Look what happened. Yeah, see, it was up here, and look at this candle. You know, it's just completely plummeting right now. It's just dropped from $4 all the way down to $1, and just like on hardly any volume. I mean, look at that. This is the big short. This is what everybody was talking about they were going to attack this stuff and they were going to short it. I mean, they ran it up a little bit and sucked everybody in, and then bam, when everybody was thinking it was, you know, just when life looked like easy street, there's danger at your door. You know, what about the guy that mortgaged his house on cryptocurrency? You know what I mean? You've heard stories about all that kind of stuff. Look how quickly your gains can just be wiped away, all your hopes and dreams. That's why, you know, you got to be smart. You got to learn how to use the charts and technical analysis, and you can't be greedy. You got to lock in gains. You know, these are, like I said, most of these are just trading vehicles. You want to follow the charts and not and get out when they signal danger. Okay, if you look here, this is that SALT chart. We've been looking at SALT for a break above 6. That actually happened yesterday on the 21st. It broke above. That was the move that we've been looking for, everybody. But now it's back below. So notice how SALT's trying to buck the trend. SALT has you know, there a lot of stuff coming in the works, and so you know, they have a lot of things to boost this coin higher here coming up shortly. So yeah, if it can stay above 610061, that's going to signal upside potential. If it pulls back below there, if you see it below 006, then it's back in this channel, and it's just at the top of the channel. It wasn't able to bust through, and that would signal more consolidation or more. You know, and you've been able to work that coin while it's been in that channel pretty good. So you know, you want to take profits at the top and load on the dips. And then now we have GRC/USD. This is Gridcoin, and bam, you know, it was up here with AMAs 4 and 8 once again. And then yeah, we'll look at the 5-minute chart on this one, and they just destroyed it. Yeah, they're dropping them down pretty hard here. Yeah, this is not a good picture for the people that are in the current cryptocurrencies. I'm sure we're going to be hearing all about it tomorrow on CNBC. And yeah, this is what everybody feared. What was the big, you know, not fear, but this is the reality. That I think a lot of people didn't understand the risk associated with it, with cryptocurrencies, that there can be big pullbacks, and that you know, you could lose a substantial amount of your income if you put it all in here. So that's why you want to learn how to trade. That's why we want to help teach you how to follow the charts and the technical analysis, so that you don't become a victim, so that you can trade and you can work it on the way up, and you can lock in profits before the chart breaks down. You can learn how to signal that the cryptocurrency is under pressure and that you should lock in gains and head to the sidelines. And we can also help show you where to load for the bounce. Notice how this is bouncing, Litecoin's bouncing off of the middle Bollinger Band. People are loading off of that level, off of 220. If it can hold that level, that's where it bounces off of. It's the bottom of the channel and the reload level. If it drops below that level, that's going to signal downside risk and the possible start of a downtrend. So when a stock is in an uptrend, the upper Bollinger Band is the top of the channel and the middle Bollinger Band is the bottom of the channel. And as long as it stays bullish, this is the load level. So that's why people, they locked in gains up here and they're loading here. But if it breaks below, you have to exit. Okay, so keep that in mind. And so we've got Monero here. It's bouncing off of the 227 level. It has to get back above 297. If it stays below that level, that's a signal of a new downtrend. Look at the bounce down here on EOS. I mean, that's just crazy. It went down to 3, bounced up to 6. They doubled their money in a matter of minutes. In the amount of time it's taken me to scan through this chart. These guys are, look at this down here. They've been able to manipulate this so hard. And I don't know, manipulate maybe is a strong word, but they're working it. And they were able to get in at 3, and now they're up 100%. And this is a 5-minute chart. So within a 10-12-minute period of time, they've been able to make a nice little sum of money there. The welcome to the world, wild west here. And and just think it's currently 11:30 at night Pacific Standard Time, and this place is going off like it's just the casino is open. And and so down here you've got the big bounce off of low of day. So come check us out in the chat. Check us out, and we will help teach you how to trade anything using charts and technical analysis. If that middle Bollinger Band there for GRCUSD turns into resistance, that is going to signal the possible start of a downtrend. Okay, this is super fascinating stuff here. Come check us out in our chat. I'll post a link at the end of the video. Thank you.